One Micronesia Podcast is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Hafaday, Mogathin, Raranim, and welcome back to the One Micronesia Podcast. Now, in this episode, I told you guys that I will go one-on-one with the athletes that represented the FSM, and this would be our last athlete. We talked to Tayana in the first episode. In one episode, I talked with Scott in studio. That was such a great time having to go one-on-one and not being, through virtually with a interviewee. And then now, because I wanted to do a one-on-one, but he's not here on Guam. So of course we had to turn back into the Zoom and turn it on and keep this podcast going. So ladies and gentlemen, with me today is your FSM swimmer, Olympian, who is currently in Thailand, if I'm correct. So ladies and gentlemen, with me on the podcast here, I do have Tasi Limtiaco. Welcome to the podcast, my bro.
Thank you for having me.
So right now, where are you currently in Thailand?
Right now, I'm in Phuket, Thailand. I train at the Tanya Pura Sports Hotel, and all my training is based here.
Nice. And then you said that's how long have you been there, and how long do you have to train for it?
Yeah, I've been here since beginning of 2019. So almost like a little bit over 2 years, a little bit over 2 years now.
Wow. How are you loving it? How are you loving the training process and everything?
Oh man, our coach, we had two different coaches, the Miguel Lopez and Alexander Tikhanov, and one of them is Spanish, one of them is Russian. So they have really like a lot of different things to bring to the table, and so their program was a lot different than what I'm used to. A lot more like distance work. We were in the pool like 10 sessions a week.
Wow.
So yeah, it was really tough, but I loved it. Like it was thrilling to be here.
All right, now let's answer this part, because I think one of the main talks when they first introduced you guys, and especially when it came to you, was, who is this guy? Last name Limtiaco. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about your story a little bit. Tell the people what you told me off the camera.
Yeah, so my dad is actually from Guam, Rob Limtiaco, and my mom is from Pulawat, one of the outer islands of Chuuk. I was born in Pulawat and I was raised on Guam, so I'm half Chamorro, half Pulawatese, I guess you'd say.
Wow, and that's awesome. So talk about, this is an island boy who grew up in the water and still is in the water every time. So I think what you're doing, people like, yeah, that's easy money. That was so easy for us to see him, go into that sport, because hey, we're all islanders. We all can swim. And when you're doing it at a very competitive level, the world stage, that's so crazy.
Well, actually, I obviously being born on an island, like you said, I grew up around the water, and I loved it. My dad took me down to a Ganya pool one day just to see how I would like it, and I guess I showed a lot of interest in it right away, and just especially being our first apartment was actually near the water, so I think we're like beachside. So my dad figured if I'm gonna be in the pool all the time, it might be safer to have me be proficient at swimming. And so yeah, he just took me down that one day when I was 6, and it just kind of took off from there.
Wow.
I just continued with it. Yeah.
Wow. And let's talk about the first time you ever competed.
First time I competed, I think it was around like 7 or 8 years old. I forgot what event I was doing, but I just remember as soon as my teammates, and I heard my teammates and the other parents like kind of was cheering me on. I don't know. It kind of just recreated a really great thrill for me. And I've loved that feeling, like just the feeling of racing, and that's kind of what drove me to this point, I guess, just to keep going.
Wow,
just competing and everything. Yeah.
And guess what? If you stopped, you would have never made it to the pool and the world stage. You share pretty much the waters with some of the greatest who in the sport. So I think that is something to tell you that, hey, good thing you did not give up, back in the day, and you kept going, you pushed. So that's awesome. So let's talk about some of the competitions that you've been in, not including Tokyo 2020.
Yeah. So I think one of the biggest, well, the first one that I started out with, not started out with, but one of the more recent one was in 2018, in Hangzhou, China. That was the short course world championships. And then after that, I also competed in the Oceanic Swimming Championships in Papua New Guinea. And then also, where was it? The Singapore Championships, as well the Kazan Swimming World Cup, and the FINA Guangzhou long course World Championships. That's a lot to list, just a couple to list off, but yeah, swimming's taken me everywhere, like all across the world, just to these different, competitions, and it's been crazy. It's been a really crazy journey.
Wow, it is. It definitely is a crazy journey. Talk about an island boy who fell in love with swimming, and then you never gave up. And look what, like you said, a list goes on. It's just you named a few, and you also represented. Yeah. You also competed in the micro games, right?
Yeah. I competed in the micro games, and I represented Yap over there.
That's crazy, because you were just telling me. I remember I threw it. I was like, "Hey, you're from Palawa. You're so close to being Yapese," and you're like, "No, you have family in South World." So I think that's how it connected you, and you represented Yap. That's just amazing, bro. It's just wow, what a journey you have, and you still going. And we're gonna talk about Tokyo 21. We're gonna take a break, guys, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about the biggest of all competitions that he's ever competed in, which is Tokyo 2020. We'll be back after this break.
It only gets better with more. Customize and save with the fastest internet speeds in the Marianas by adding mobile, phone, and TV to your bundle with Business Bundles Plus. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
For the different beats of your life, we're here to keep you connected the way you want it. Plans made for you, by you. Build your own bundle with Link. Select the internet, entertainment, mobile, and home phone plans that fit your lifestyle. Pay for what you want, not for what you don't. Build your own bundle and save with Link.
Hafere, Mogisin, Rananim, and welcome back to the One Micronesia Podcast, being brought to you by Docomo Pacific, Better Together. So let's keep this conversation going. We talked about his early life. We talked about how he grew up in the islands. He grew up in Polowat, was raised here on Guam, and how he fell in love with the sport and where it has taken him across the world. He's been into so many competitions, and now we're going to talk about the one competition that matters, because through all those competitions, it made him better and pushed him all the way to the World Olympics. So, ladies and gentlemen, with me back here on the podcast, I still have with me Mr. Tasi Limtiaco.
Thank you.
So, Tas, let's talk about this. What was it like getting the call to represent the Federated States of Micronesia on the world stage?
Oof. I was actually notified back in late 2019. That I would be the selected candidate, and it was unreal. I had to literally sit down for like 5 minutes, because it's been something that I've been dreaming about for who knows how long, since I was a little kid, and I never thought it was possible until that I got that. Well, it wasn't a phone call; it was actually an email, but still, just opening it up and staring at the words, I had to read it over and over and over again, just to be sure. But yeah, I can't describe the feeling. It was just, I think I was like in a trance for about, a good part of the day.
I mean, it's a big thing. I mean, you're carrying the whole country on your back, all three of you guys, and representing us on the world stage. And man, that's just crazy. Let's talk about the training process. You were already in training. Like you said, you probably was in Thailand when you got the email.
Yes.
So you're already in training. So after that, what was the training change? Did you hype up the training a little bit? How was training like after you got the call?
Yeah, actually, so once we got notified, we usually do most of our trainings in blocks, and right from I believe it was the beginning of 2020. No, December of 2019, our training ramped up. We were doing like maybe 6-7K sessions or 6-7K for each session, and then our coach took it up to like 8-9 and 8-9 kilometers per session. So it got a lot tougher, and there were just times where it was just like, I thought it was too much, but it all paid off.
It did. It definitely did. Let's talk about it. Opening ceremony. I did talk to Tayana and Scott, and I always throw this in because one of the key things in an Olympic is the opening ceremony, because that's where we see all the countries come out with pride, and because they're representing wherever they're from. So let's talk about opening ceremony. How was that feeling for you? You're amongst the greatest now, and walking, down that track. How was that feeling?
Oh, it was overwhelming. Actually, I'll admit it. I did tear up quite a bit. It was just walking into the stadium. It was I don't know how to describe it. It was kind of overwhelming at first, just watching like everyone, all the other countries stand by, and just interacting with each other, because we got in and then we were just allowed to sit with whoever, and people were just taking pictures left and right, and you see some of the top athletes in the world, and like it was quite a tearjerker, to be honest. To be there, and it's just seeing everything from an athlete's point of view, because I've always watched the opening ceremonies on TV, but to be there myself was I can't put it into words.
Wow. I mean, like you said, it's something that you've been dreaming of as a kid, to swim and to represent your country, and you did on the world stage. So let's talk about it. Game day, competition day.
Actually, to be honest, I didn't have any nerves on me, which was really weird, because like for smaller competitions, like competitions we have here, I tend to get a little bit nervous, thinking, okay, I have to do my best time. I kind of overthink stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But when I went up there, I was really calm. I wasn't nervous at all. I was just ready to swim the race. And what was going through my mind was just like, do the best you can. I mean, you're here now. You've prepared. You're ready. Let's just get to it, and let's give it all we got.
Wow. And there you go. The gun goes off. 200-meter individual medley at the Tokyo Olympic, and wow, you finished 5th, which is great in your first heat. I believe I'm looking at the time here. Is it 2 minutes and 7 seconds with 69 milliseconds? And then you were close to beating your personal best with a couple seconds, 1 second, pretty much.
Thank you. Yeah. Being actually 1 second off my best wasn't too bad, because we hadn't had any competitions, of course, due to the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I was lacking a little bit of race experience, but so the way it turned out I was more than happy with it, to be honest. Yeah.
That's awesome. And I also talked to Tayana, who broke the FSM's world record in that competition. And then with you, with seconds away from beating your personal best. And I also talked to Scott, which, he talked about how, I think overall you talked about COVID being one of the things that kind of prevented a lot of athletes from really training to become their best. And I think every single interview that was heard during the Olympics, there was that, COVID, facilities being closed, training being shortened and stuff like that. So I think, but I think honestly, to you and all the athletes from around the world who showed up, I think that is a sign that, hey, COVID definitely is not going to stop us from competing in a different sport that we love. So like I said, congratulations again.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. So before we close out this part, what are your takeaways from the Olympic to take with you? Things that you think you will need to work on more as you head into your next competition?
Well, I think we're gonna try and build more of an aerobic base for me. So like a lot of running, which as a swimmer, I can say every swimmer out there hates to run, and it's yeah, we're good in the water, not so much on land, but I think me and my coach are definitely going to work on that, and just to also I think build more of a routine going to the Olympics, because like a daily routine. I did make the mistake of walking around the village a little bit too much, but I think that's something that just having my coach there and preparing me would preparing for the next big competitions, which should be in Abu Dhabi this coming December for the World Championships again.
Wow.
Just little things like that. Yeah,
That's amazing. And like I said, you and all athletes showed up and competed, and I think is a 100%. That's a gold medal for everybody who showed up and competed at the Tokyo 2020. Guys, we're going to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about the future for Tasi. Coming up in just a little bit, you're watching the One Micronesia Podcast, being brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
It only gets better with more. Customize and save with the fastest internet speeds in the Marianas by adding mobile, phone, and TV to your bundle with Business Bundles Plus. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
For the different beats of your life, we're here to keep you connected the way you want it. Plans made for you, by you. Build your own bundle with Link. Select the internet, entertainment, mobile, and home phone plans that fit your lifestyle. Pay for what you want, not for what you don't. Build your own bundle and save with Link.
Hafide, Mogasin, and Rananim, and welcome back to the One Micronesia Podcast. We're still here with your FSM Olympic swimmer, Mr. Tasi Limtiaco. Bro, let's talk about it. We talked about how it all started. We talked about the biggest competition you've landed in your life, Tokyo 2020. And then now let's talk about the future. What's next for Tasi?
Well, for me, I think we do have two competitions this year that are for sure going through, which is one in October, the Bangkok Championships, and then also the Short Course World Championships in Abu Dhabi. Those are my short-term goals right now. The long-term ones that I would look forward to are the World Championships next year in Fukuoka. And of course, Paris 2024. I'm not sure about that yet. I'm still, obviously I think it would be really cool to go to a second Olympics. It's still kind of on the drawing board to see if I want to, train for another 3 years.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
it takes a lot. It takes a toll on you too. Because now you have to build a whole mindset around this, having to do what routines you do. Now you're changing your life up for 3 years. We're not talking about months. We're not talking about days. We're talking about another 3 years of training. And, like I said, it does take a lot of toll on athletes. But, for those who have stuck it through and pushed through, I think we've seen it pay off in the Olympics. So that is definitely your choice. I mean, this is all up to you and the next competitions that you're going to take. Of course, you have your eye on the next two, and then maybe down the line, a couple more. But yes, I mean, 2024 Paris, it would be nice. It would be an honor to see you, take that stage. Right. But, that's really up to you as an athlete and as humans. Right. Because at the end of the day, we can't just push ourselves every single time. We need to take breaks here and there. So
yeah, and especially now you see a lot more athletes coming forward with just a lot of like not what do you call it, the stress, the stress that it has on your mental health as well, not just your body but also mentally. It's really tough for athletes just to push through. But I think I think I would right now, it's probably an 80% chance that I would go for it for 2024. I think it'd be amazing to do it again, and I think I'm definitely willing to put myself through that again.
Hey, 80%, guys, we'll take that 80. We'll take that 80%, Mr. Tasi Limtiaco. We will take that. And we would love for you to jump in that water again with the 4 stars on your back and to represent us in the next 3 years. But who knows? We'll let time work its thing. So, Tasi, man, I'm so happy that we had this conversation. We're gonna take a break, but when we come back, we're gonna talk about a message to the folks, your family, the message to your country, and stuff like that, and where people can find you. So we'll be back after this.
It only gets better with more. Customize and save with the fastest internet speeds in the Marianas by adding mobile, phone, and TV to your bundle with Business Bundles Plus. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
For the different beats of your life, we're here to keep you connected the way you want it. Plans made for you, by you. Build your own bundle with Link. Select the internet, entertainment, mobile, and home phone plans that fit your lifestyle. Pay for what you want, not for what you don't. Build your own bundle and save with Link.
Hafere, Mogisin, and Raranim, and welcome back to the One Micronesia Podcast. And we're here for the last part, the goodbyes, the messages, the social media throwout. So, Tasi, a message right now to your supporters.
I just want to say thank you for everyone, not just my family, but friends, swim teams that I used to train with on Guam, just for all the support and love. When I was going into it, I was always constantly thinking, like, what if I disappoint everyone? But all the feedback that I got from everyone was just, it was all positive. Everyone showed so much support, and I couldn't have made this journey without especially of course, my mom and my dad, my sister, my grandfather, but also my team back home, Tsunami Swim Club, which was, I grew up in that swim team. And not just the FSM community, but also, the people from Guam as well. I also have to recognize my my Chamorro side as well. So just thank you for everyone, for all the support and love, and from both our islands.
Amen. Because you are out there. Yes, you representing the FSM, but you're also representing your Chamorro family, and I know they're proud of you too. Even though you did not carry or not represent Guam, but I think you representing some sort of a Micronesian country is huge, because like I said, at the end of the day, we're all one Micronesia, right? So at the end of the day, you're representing, it doesn't matter what country you're representing, but as long as we showed up and we're saying, hey, we are from the Micronesian Islands, we are here, and we're here to show up and show down for sure. So you did that, and congratulations again, Tasi.
Thank you so much.
All right. So before I let you go, where can people go follow your journey? It's another 3 years. We have that 80% that you said you have 80%. You're 80% into 2024. More competitions are coming up. Where can people follow your journey?
You can always follow me I'm always on Instagram posting new things at Tasi_Limtiaco. If you want to follow not just me, but like the program that I follow here, for those who want to like see some swimming workouts or like dryland workouts, we have a page called FINA Development Tanyapura. I'll post a link in my Instagram as well. But yeah, they're always posting stuff about not just me, but also the other countries that I train with here and all our workouts and stuff. So if you guys want to get a taste of what I do, that's the place to go. And yeah, I'll just my Instagram is probably the best one.
All right. Well, Tasi Limtiaco, ladies and gentlemen, your FSM Olympic swimmer. Tasi, again, thank you so much for granting us the time to go one-on-one with you. We'll get to know you and your life and your journey to the Olympics, and then your journey to discovering more and competing in more competition. So I'll definitely take that. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. All right, guys, that pretty much wraps up another episode of the One Micronesia Podcast. We brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
The One Micronesia Podcast is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.